힐링과 생존, 도통 문화를 전하는 STB 상생
Welcome to STB Sangsaeng Gaebyeok News, your channel on healing, meditation, and enlightenment. I hope you're enjoying your Chuseok holiday with your family and relatives. I also hope that the bounties of Chuseok will continue throughout the year. STB Sangsaeng Gaebyeok News, sharing insight about becoming beings of light. Today's Dojeon verse comes from chapter 2, section 91. Ancestral spirits devote more than 60 years to the receiving of a single worthy descendant from heaven. Yet many spirits still do not succeed in receiving any such descendants. How can you, the culmination of such arduous labors, spend your fleeting dream of a life in vain? You must cherish the devotion and virtue of your ancestral spirits. It is indeed important to remember our ancestors who gave us life and who watch over us. STB News. We begin with the Cheonbugyeong song, the song about the scripture of heavenly code.
천부경 노래로 시작하겠습니다. 여러분, 진리란 무엇일까요?
Cheonbugyeong is the original scripture that reveals the secrets about heaven, earth, and humanity.
하늘과 땅과 인간 생명 속에 있는 누구도 거스를 수 없는 불변의 이법, 바로 우주 대자연의 법칙이 아닐까요? 81자로 구성된
Cheonbugyeong, or the scripture of heavenly code, consists of only 81 words. These words, particularly the numbers, symbolize a profound order about the birth and change of everything that exists in the universe. The numbers 1 through 10 in 천부경 encompass the secrets about heaven, earth, and humanity.
고대 그리스 철학자들도 수로서 신의 뜻을 판단할 수 있다고 보았는데요. 1부터 10까지의 수로 하늘과 땅과 그 속에 살고 있는 인간을 노래한 천부경. 천부경을 통해 수의 비밀과 그 속에 담긴 진리의 깊은 뜻을 느껴보시기 바랍니다. 무병장수 신선수행을 하며 축하와 감사의
Now
메시지를
it's
전하는
time for a
릴레이가
message of
추석 명절을
congratulations
앞두고 있습니다.
from our
함께
viewer in
만나보시죠.
India.
안녕하세요. My name is Priyadarshini Singh and I'm from India. I'm a college student and I have a lot of interest in spirituality as well as a lot of interest in K-drama and K-pop. And I really wanted to know about Korea's history, Korea's culture as well as Korea's spirituality. But I wasn't able to find a reliable source from where I can get information on these very less talked about topics. But I'm so happy now that Sangsaeng Broadcasting Channel will now be putting up content on Korea's spirituality, Korea's history, Korea's culture, as well as the traditional way of meditating. I'm so happy and I cannot wait what the Sangsaeng Broadcasting Channel has for all of us. STB Sangsaeng Gaebyeok News, 화이팅!
나랑 너랑 우리랑 진정한
Thank you.
상담으로
It's
거듭나고자
truly
지는
encouraging to
많은
receive such
분들께서
kind words
매일매일
from a viewer
보내주시는 메시지에
so far
후천
away.
성경으로 건너가는 다리가 더욱 견고해지는 듯합니다. 무병장수 후천선 명상
Next is Samnang Dao talk about meditation for attaining ageless longevity and immortality of the later heaven. Let's first view a video clip of the Jongdosanim's teaching on forming an orb of light inside your lower dungeon. After the video, Dharma teacher Hyun-Kim-sang will explain the teaching. Now, to form your Jongdan, or essence orb of light in your lower dungeon, you must not chant the mantras with your conscious spirit, which means your mind is full of thoughts, random thoughts. Instead, you must chant the mantras with your primal spirit that resides inside your head. When you do so, you are chanting mantras free of thoughts. Being free of thoughts is important. When you look at the space around you, are there thoughts floating around? No, it's simply space. Your mind is like empty space when you meditate. When Sangdenim meditated, he went to Daewonsa temple to do so. He meditated with certain principles. One such principle was focusing with one mind. Another principle was empty, empty, void, void. In terms of the second principle, it comes from an ancient teaching that began in Magok Castle, extending to Hwanguk and Baedal. Emperor Kobarwan of Baedal presented 5 principles of meditation practice. One principle was empty, empty, void, void. He said heaven, which is not just blue and black, is without form and is boundless, without a beginning or end, without the 4 directions. And so heaven is empty, empty, void, void. Later, Sangdenim clarified this principle and applied it to meditation. Empty, empty, void, void was shortened to empty void, meaning the body must be empty and the mind must become a void. This is very important in meditation. If you truly understand this and apply it in your meditation, you can enter the realm that is the beginning of time and space of the universe. You can in fact enter this realm quite suddenly. Now, when people try to form their Jongdan or their essence orb of light inside the lower Tanjun, it could take them 2 or 3 months. People who are youthful, who take good care of themselves, who do not drink excessively, who are not consumed by stress, can form a solid orb of light. Women who became mothers, who have been married for many years, have used up a great deal of their essence. So it would take a great effort to form their orb of light. Perhaps you could go to the woods in May or June and breathe in clean air to recover your body to facilitate the forming of your orb of light in your lower Tanjun. It's also important to have a healthy diet. Sleep and rise early, undo the stress in your lives, and have a kind heart. These all help in forming your orb of light. Now, when you meditate, chant the mantras, focusing on your lower Tanjun. Don't think about anything else. Why? When you meditate to purify your body or heal yourself, your meditation must be done by uniting the spirit and chi, or energy, inside your body. Uniting the spirit and chi inside your body. Now, within your body, your spirit resides inside your head. Chi, or energy, fills your entire body. What generates chi? It is essence in your lower Tanjun. By focusing on your lower Tanjun and breathing through it, you can draw in your spirit. When the spirit answers, that is when bees of light begin to gather inside your lower Tanjun and form an orb of light. When you are absolutely still, you can actually see this orb, which looks like an egg. Your orb of light must be jade white, really clean white jade, which is a sign that your meditation practice is successful. If the orb is discolored or gray, it is a sign that you had random thoughts as you formed it. Now, after your orb of light is formed, you will witness many wondrous sights, such as a body of clean water or a stream of clean water flowing by. Now, you have just viewed part 2 of the Jongdosanim's teaching on forming an orb of light inside your lower Tanjun. So, today he mentioned many key elements of the teachings about forming an orb of light within you. First, he mentioned that you must chant, you must meditate with your conscious spirit. You must not meditate with your conscious spirit, which will cause all kinds of random thoughts. You'll be attached to all kinds of affliction of the mind. So you must instead chant with your primal spirit, which is the same as the universe itself, which is the same as the samshin of the universe. So when you meditate, you must chant with your primal spirit, with your eyes closed, and that is the way to abandon any random thoughts. Now, could you explain to the viewers the significance of the conscious spirit and the primal spirit? Yes, the concept of conscious spirit and primal spirit is probably new to the viewers. Now, inside your head contains the primal spirit, which is the creator within you. It is the same as the universe. And it is the source of your pure mind, your original mind. Now, the other is the conscious spirit that resides inside your heart. So, through this spirit, you're able to think, you're able to listen, you're able to learn, you're able to function in all ways. Now, typically, the primal spirit is at rest inside your body, and it is your conscious spirit that is active. And when your conscious spirit is really, really active, you can be stressed, you can be full of all kinds of negative thoughts, depression. So meditation is about bringing your conscious spirit to rest and awakening your primal spirit. So when you wake your primal spirit, you're able to achieve a state called empty, empty, void, void, or empty void for short. That is when your meditation becomes effective. In addition to this mindset of empty void during meditation, you must be mindful of meditating, focusing on one mind. Now, Sangjanim, the Jongdosanim explains Sangjanim's teaching. Two aspects, focusing with one mind and empty, empty, void, void. It's not a simple concept, but Sangjanim explained it simply by saying that our body must be empty and our mind should become a void to meditate. In other words, we must detach ourselves from desires and affliction of the mind and enter the original realm of the universe. Then you can focus with one mind and energy will coalesce inside of you. Now, in terms of my personal experience, I try to empty myself by imagining something else. By imagine myself in the middle of a forest or at the North Pole. Sure, there are many ways to achieving empty void of your mind. So you could go to a forest, breathe in clean air, and refresh your body so you could improve your concentration. It's important to eat well, rest well, and free your mind of random thoughts and have a kind heart. Now, the Jongdosanim also said that meditation is about combining the spirit within your body with the chi or the energy inside your body. So combine these and bring them to the lower dungeon so that everything coalesces into a ball of light, an orb of light. So if you meditate with random thoughts, the orb of light that forms will be tainted, it'll be gray, instead of being pure jade white. So don't be so depressed about it. It's important that you reset yourself and reapply yourself to meditation. And when you do so, your orb of light will become white and pure. Now, I find that in terms of meditation, one of the hardest things to do is to free yourself from random thoughts. Well, are there good methods for freeing yourself of random thoughts? You're right. Random thoughts are one of the biggest obstacles to having a good meditation. So, our mind, our heart are full of all kinds of thoughts. So that's why it's difficult, inherently difficult for us to free ourselves of random thoughts. So if you close your eyes completely when you meditate, different thoughts will float inside your mind. So Sangjanim taught us, in fact he taught his child disciple Kim Ho-yeon, close your outer eye and open your inner eye when you meditate. So what this means is that when you meditate, slightly close your outer eyes. Make sure that your inner eye, the eyes of the mind, are open. And also, sometimes you're plagued with random thoughts. Then just open your mind, open your eyes briefly, and then close them. Now, when you have too much stress, when you have too many worries, it's hard to focus. Then stop your meditation, rise and go to a local park somewhere to walk for about 30 minutes to calm yourself. So when you become one with nature, you can calm yourself, bring your troubling mind to rest. Another important tip is when you begin your meditation, imagine yourself sitting on the center of a circle with a perfect cross inside. This means you are the center of the universe. That will help you abandon random thoughts and enter a deep realm of meditation. Let's move on to meditation for attaining ageless longevity and immortality of the later heaven. Dharma teacher Hyun, please lead us. Yes, today we will also again use a wish-fulfilling rod of light to clear away energy blockage inside your penetrating vessel. Now, unwind the strings of light on your left thumb and your index finger, bring them together, and imagine forming a rod of light about 30 centimeters in length, about 3 to 5 centimeters in thickness. Now use that rod of light when you meditate. Now place it on the top of the crown of your head. So as you meditate while chanting, bring it down as you exhale all the way to the perineum. And when you inhale, bring this rod up to the crown of your head. So repeat this process again and again. As you breathe properly, then you will experience the blockages in your penetrating vessel clear away. So let us begin our meditation with Sichonjuju mantra and the Teochu mantra.
시천주 조화정 영세 불망만사지 지기금지 원이대강 시천주 조화정 영세 불망만사지 지기금지 원이대강 시천주 조화정 영세 불망만사지 시기금지 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 원이대강 훔치 델천상원군 훔리치야두레 훔리합리사파 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 훔치 델천상원군 훔리치야두레 훔리합리사파
시천주 조화정 영세 불망만사지 지기금지 원의대강 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 시천주 조화정 영세 불망만사지 치움치 태울 천상원군 홈니치야 니함니사파 치움치 태울 천상원군 홈니치야 노래 홈니함니사파 치움치 태울 천상원군 홈니치야 노래 홈니함니사파 치움치 태울 천상원 훔니치야 노래 훔니함니사파 치움치 태울 천상원 훔니치야 노래 훔니함니사파 치움치 태울 천상원 훔니치야 노래 훔니함니사파 치움치 태울 천상원
Today we learn that it's important to meditate with your primal spirit and abandon all random thoughts. This is a proper step to forming your orb of light inside your lower danjan. Next is stories of meditation experiences with Kim Kyung-nim. So, today's first experience comes from Choi Kyung-ja of Osan Daewon Dojang. She said, "Every day in the afternoon, my husband and I go to the local dojang and meditate. But this year in May, my health declined rapidly, so I visited the hospital quite often. So in my dreams, my ancestors visited me, and so on May 28th, I offered an offering ritual to my deceased ancestors. And I personally prepared 3 dishes of vegetables. But 2 days later, my health declined so rapidly that I went to the emergency room. 5 days later, my doctor said that I may not survive this time. And so my family members gathered at the hospital in the parking lot. And so the next morning, early morning, the doctor came over to cut the clothes off of me to prepare for the final hour. But then suddenly I woke up and I saw the doctor, and he was quite surprised, saying that a miracle just happened. So what happened was, when I was taken to the emergency room, I thought this might be my end. So inside my mind, I kept chanting the 시천주주 and 태울주 mantras. And so when I was left in my hospital, on my hospital bed, I saw an image of the 3 vegetable dishes I prepared for the offering ritual from my ancestors. The 3 vegetable dishes became flowers of immortality, and they multiplied into many, many flowers, and they were scattered over the dojang members. And then the fellow practitioners came to me and gave me the final flower. And I realized, yes, I can make it. And then I suddenly wake up. And so after I recovered my health, I went to the... And then I realized that I could make it. Even though my health was still frail, I went to the special ceremony, the offering ritual to heaven at Sangsaeng World Center on June 12th. After that, my health returned to normal. The next story is by Park Mi-hwa of Ujeongbu Dojang. Now, in the past, I went to the Taerugung Auditorium due to my mother's advice. Every time I made the visit, I felt my body getting a little better. In February 2021, my mother fell down. She slipped on the street, on the snow, and she injured her low back. While she was recovering, one of her legs was still troubling her. And so when I did my Teochew mantra meditation, I thought about the Jongdosanim's teachings. And I prayed to Sangjanim and Temonim. And as I prayed to them, I imagined attaching the words 지기 금지 원이 대강 on my mother's body. And when I was focusing on the Teochew mantra chanting, I imagined seeing the words 지기 금지 원이 대강 along her spine, my mother's spine. And these words became really bright. When I devoted myself even more to the Teochew mantra dynamic meditation, I suddenly saw the words 시천주 조화정 appear before my eyes. And I saw the word 시천주 written across the top of my mother's head. And then I heard a voice saying that she will be cured when she serves the Lord of Heaven. And so whenever I imagine my mother's low back, I imagine pushing the energy of the Teochew mantra into her body. And then after continuing this practice, my mother fully recovered from her injuries. Next is the experience by Ahn Gyeong-jeon of Bucheon Dojang. This story comes, this happened in January 2022. She said, my right shoulder froze. I have a frozen right shoulder. And so I end up using most of my left shoulder to do my daily things. But then my left shoulder became stressed. So I unwound the strings of light on my left thumb and index finger and used that to form a wish-fulfilling rod of light. I imagine splitting this rod into hundreds of needles and then inserted them on my left shoulder. 30 minutes later, my left shoulder became okay. After that, I embedded the rod of light onto my right shoulder. So after continuing this meditation, my right shoulder recovered by 50%. And then after I continue this meditation practice and form a spiritual jewel inside me, my right shoulder recovered by 70%. After I received flowers of immortality, I was nearly fully recovered. I still have a little bit of the symptoms. So after applying myself to meditation every day, my right shoulder fully recovered, but it took 7 months of doing so. So every day I meditate for at least 1 hour, and I listen to the Teochu Dogong meditation constantly with a music player around my neck. So in just reflecting myself of how I was last year comparing to this year, I feel that my body is more balanced. I feel I'm in better health. So I feel that if I continue this meditation, I will fully regain my old health. I leave you with words from the Taesang Jongdosanim. He said, chanting the Teochu mantra is like saying, Mother and Father, thank you for everything. Please help me. Chanting the Teochu mantra is like asking your parents for blessings. In this age of Gaebyeok, we must all chant the Teochu mantra. During this Chuseok holiday, it's important that we thank our ancestors. I invite you and your family to meditate chanting the Teochu mantra as well as the Shicheonjuju mantra. STB Sangsaeng Gaebyeok News, the bridge of life between the early heaven and the later heaven. Thank you, and please join us tomorrow.